Bienvenuti to all the urbanists out there. Today we're going to ride on that gigantic bus that we see there with a huge guest advertisement. That is one of the Rome open tours. However, I have to wait about 15 minutes before it starts because they're still waiting for some more customers. It is a bit slow in tourist season, so sometimes when you're traveling you do have to kind of adjust to the time. Not everything is going to be exact to your schedule. So I hope you enjoy this bus tour, but right now we're starting off at a cool, nice cafe, which is an espresso and a cornetto. This is more kind of a random, like, local place. Nothing really particularly special, but of course, every cafe is special in Rome. And I got myself an agua frisante. So, as we're waiting around, I'm going to drink some cafe. Now, they were so kind enough because the wait was a bit long for the bus tour. I still have to wait about 15 more minutes. They were so kind enough to offer a free cafe and water, so they gave me a little voucher. So the cafe was on them. It's $15 for 15 euro for a one trip, which is 1 hour and 20 minutes. So it's gonna be a fun live video where we're gonna see the entirety of Rome in one ride, or at least all the tourist areas. But let's try the coffee, shall we? Now, there's one thing that Italians usually do when getting themselves an espresso. It is crucial to most Italians. You cannot start drinking your espresso if you don't do this. Otherwise, you might be a little bit too much in a hurry. Because Italian lifestyle is fast, especially here in Rome, but not too fast. There's one thing you gotta do before you smash down your espresso. Hey, Laureen! Laureen's watching from Hawaii. Welcome, Laureen. So you gotta do this. You gotta stir the espresso, even if you're not putting any sugar. You gotta stir that espresso, and then you mix all the oils together, all the nutrients, all the beautiful flavors, everything, all mixed together. And look at that cornetto. Cornetto stuffed with cream. So we're back value area. Yes, it was a very long 40 minutes. All right, let's try cornetto before I actually bite into this espresso. This is more of your mass-baked cornetto. Cornetto is basically an Italian croissant. This is more of your kind of like mass-baked one. Because these places, of course, they don't bake their own. This is what's called a snack bar. They might have an Italian name, but they usually write it in English, snack bar. Or just bar. And basically you can find a few kind of basic staples, like you can in most basic New York City coffee shops or American coffee shops. Cornetto is one of them. Now, there are places where you can get a very fresh cornetto. You have to go to a forno, you have to go to a pasticceria, which is a pastry bakery. And those places are really good. But of course, when you're on the go, you just gotta grab anything. Let's try some espresso. Now, someone asked just earlier, how many sips does it take to drink an Italian espresso, or a cafe, simply? I would not recommend doing it in one. While they might stereotypically show that the Italian way is going like that, not quite. It's not really the Italian way. The Italian way is taking a few sips at least. You know, maybe 3, maybe 4 sips. Don't just take it in one shot, because then you're not enjoying your espresso. As I said, Italian lifestyle, especially in a big city like Rome, and then Florence and Milan as well. It's fast, but it's not like the New York hustle culture. There's still that kind of Italian sensibility, even in a big city like Rome. Let me show you more of the ambiance of the cafe. Hello, BA. Made with buttery goodness. Now, while the cornetto might taste a bit run-of-the-mill. Run-of-the-mill is a pretty American expression, but it tastes, kind of like normal cornetto you'll find anywhere. Pretty kind of fast food tasting. But when it comes to espresso, you usually find great espresso everywhere. It's really fascinating. There's really good espresso everywhere here in Italy. Like, I've been to the most kind of places, we're right by the train station, so let me show you. So we're right there. Right there is Rome Termini. Rome Termini is the main terminal for Rome. Here you can catch a lot of buses. Here you can catch the high-speed trains to Florence, to Milan, to Naples. Here you can catch your other buses that go to smaller towns all around this region of Italy. And here you can also catch the tourist buses, which we're about to board in a few minutes. And Mater says it's all in the beans. Mater, are you quoting Curb Your Enthusiasm? If so, I love it. Great quote. If anyone doesn't know what Mater is referring to potentially, is Curb Your Enthusiasm. The entire last season, the last one to air, was all about coffee. Or a big plot of the season was coffee. Kay says we're going through a middle of a big thunderstorm. Oh no, Kay. I hope things get better. Oh no. So we're waiting for the bus. Feel free to ask me questions as I bite a few more times into this cornetto. I don't want to get too full because I might go for another dinner afterwards. It's flaky. This could get really filling. Now, when he says where we're going, we're going to do a bus trip all around Rome. We're going to get a double-decker bus. I chose one of the less popular bus lines, so we might have the entire bus to ourselves. Because there's like 4 or 5 companies here, and I chose the one that is not even really listed in most tourist sites. Mikkel's eating a peach. I have to get some food now. So hungry, says Audrey. I feel you, Audrey. I feel you. How long is this tour? It's going to be about an hour and 20 minutes, and then we're gonna go. Who else we'll explore soon? Stay tuned. So pro tip, there's hawkers in Rome. Maybe not as aggressive as some other cities, but here they can get more aggressive than even in New York. So pro tip, give them a very stern no and don't really engage. They'll give up if you. They'll stick around for a few seconds, linger, and it'll be awkward, but just don't engage, and they'll go away. George says the penny saver bus tour. It's not necessarily cheaper than the other ones. There's 3 companies that allow you to do only one ride, which is all I need. I don't need to buy a day pass. And this is the last trip of the day. So I think we literally will be the only people on the bus. I had not seen anyone else buy a ticket so far. Are you live streaming this tour? Yeah, Joe, this is all part of the live stream. I had to start now because it's at 6 p.m., but the bus tour starts at 6:30, so I had no choice but to start with some cafe and some cornetto. Can you show us Michelangelo's Moses? I've never seen it, but I read it's more breathtaking than David. Paul, sure. Yeah, I'll show Michelangelo's Moses. So Paul's referring to a very popular sculpture made by Michelangelo of the great religious figure Moses. I'll show it to you. Stay tuned. Maybe Saturday or Sunday. Tomorrow I'll be going to EUR with Michele Ponte. I'll be doing a live video with him first on my channel, and then we're gonna go on his channel. All right, the bus is boarding. Let me finish this espresso. One more bite. Wait. Gotta get every sip. Did I get new shoes? No, Kathy. I'm wearing my Greek sandals today. One more bite of that cornetto. That's really good. Oh yeah. And Wendy, nice to see you here. Time to go to inside the Rome bus tour. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's do a Rome bus tour. Are you guys ready to be blown away by the entire beauty of Rome? Pasrati, nice to see you here. All right, let me jump in. Be right back. BRB. Gonna go into the bus. Andiamo, like they say. Yeah, andiamo. We have a few. Can I go in now? Yeah. No? Okay. Oh, grazie. Grazie mille. And great coffee.
Yeah?
Yeah, great coffee. Thank you so much. All right. So it was €15. Includes an audio guide, and that's why he gave me these headphones. And this is the same company, Rome Open Bus. Rome Open Bus is the company we're in right now. Tammy says we can stretch out. Oh yes, we can. Are Greek sandals comfortable to walk it for in long distances? That's Irene. Great question, Irene. I don't think so. I've already started feeling very uncomfortable walking in the sandals after maybe 3 hours in them. So that was part of my thinking of doing a bus tour. So I'm not sure how other people feel, but I have these Greek sandals that are actually very stylish and very comfortable, but after about 3 hours walking, it gets very uncomfortable. Let me know if you experience that. Let me know if you just get used to it. Let me know if the sandal just requires even more time to stretch out. Let me know what you think. But that was part of the reasoning why I decided to do a bus tour, because I'm already wearing sandals. I'm far away from my Airbnb. And I thought to myself, I'd rather not be suffering in pain walking around. Because a cranky Ariel would not be a very good good live stream. So I'm now nice and comfortably sat down so we can enjoy a good tour of Rome. So just like many of you have watched countless videos walking all around cities around the world, we've been to Athens, Thessaloniki, Santorini, Rome, London before if you've been watching for a while, New York, Washington DC, Boston. You've been able to walk around all these cities and not need to walk, not even a step. Maybe a few steps if you have to go to a bathroom or grab yourself a coffee or a wine, but not that much. But here, today, I'm joining in the laze of watching a live video. So, like you, I don't need to walk for this tour today because I'll be sitting down along with all of you. We're letting the bus do all the work. Teresa says, my Crocs flip-flops are my most comfortable sandals. But not all of them are comfy on long walks. Yeah, 5 fingers all the way, even to the summit of Vesuvius. Paul, that is impressive. That is impressive. I have not tried the 5 fingers pad yet. I will at some point. Hey, getting coffee can be a commute, says Ronald. Indeed it can. Indeed it can, Ronald. Ciao, Rosalie. I'm enjoying your videos very much. You're a great storyteller. I'm so glad, Rosalie. You can walk long distances in New York City. I can, but I rarely wear sandals in New York City. Kay says, you cranky? Never, says Kay. Kay, that's the beauty of being an entertainer. I only show you the good bits. Is that subway entrance near front of you? Okay, so yes, feel free to ask me any questions as we're waiting here for the bus to depart. That is the subway entrance. It is closed right now. This inside the terminal. Right here. The terminal has the entrance to both of the subway lines, A and B. That's the only subway that, or here they call it metro, that Rome has. But Rome has a whole gigantic fleet of buses. It is gigantic. It might have more buses than New York, I'm not entirely sure, but it has a whole lot of buses. I've seen it as in London. And also here departs the high-speed trains and the commuter trains to parts abroad. Or abroad to other countries, but also to other major cities in Italy. Joe, so today not the full bus to myself, just semi-bus to myself. What happens if this tour goes below 50 miles per hour, says Ronald. Ronald, you do not want to find out. Hopefully we'll have Keanu Reeves on our side. Alright, we're about to go. Beautiful buildings here. Here's another, here you can see. Watch for that M, and that's the subway. The subway only connects, both lines only connect here, Termini. But it's very easy to use the subway. So someone asked me how's the metro. Very easy. I would recommend the bus. I've spoken to a few Romans and they say they don't like the bus. But I don't know, I think it's really handy and it's very useful. And I find it even more handy as a tourist than using the buses in New York City. Because the buses in New York City, you can take them up and down the avenues or along a few streets, but it doesn't really connect most of the tourist points. But there's a few buses here, like the 81, there's a 40, there's a few others that connect many of the tourist sites together. So as a tourist, you can just take the bus to all those sites, one single bus. Why is the metro closed? It's just this entrance. I'm not sure why they closed it, maybe because it's not in peak time. They're very good at adjusting the flow of traffic here. En todos entren al autobús, máscaras desinfectantes en las manos, por favor, Victoria. Victoria says, everyone aboard the bus, please. With your masks, with your disinfectant, with everything. Catherine says, sounds like a fun trip. Oh yeah, I'm so excited. I'm excited to see Rome by bus. LEC says the bus and the tram makes up for lack of subway lines. Yes, yes. This is one thing I wish New York City would incorporate. Better bus services that make more sense as a commuter. They should make buses that are specifically for tourists. So a bus that goes up and down Manhattan but goes to the main sites. So rather than just going up and down one avenue, you have a bus that maybe starts in Harlem, goes down to the north of Central Park, along, say, the Met or the Museum of Natural History, passes through Times Square, passes through Herald Square, then passes near to Washington Square Park, and then ends at the tip of Manhattan, so you can take it to the Statue of Liberty, and then goes around up to the other side of Central Park, so you can go to the Met. That would be very convenient. I'm not sure why New York City's not thinking in that way yet. And then beyond that, why don't we have trams in the outer boroughs? Subway lines are very expensive. And they're very time consuming to build. Unless if you're the Chinese government and can somehow do what you will and build subway lines within the course of a few months. But many governments are not like the Chinese. So we'll need more easier ways of building transportation. Trams are the best way. I think trams are fun too. And they're not that loud. Trams are actually among the quieter of the public transportation options. They're quieter than some buses. So it'll be really cool to have trams in Queens and in Brooklyn, especially a tram to connect Queens and Brooklyn along the waterfront. So you can go from Long Island City, or from Astoria, Queens, through Long Island City to Greenpoint, to Williamsburg, all the way down to Red Hook. Come on, New York City. Come on. Maybe I should already run for mayor. Catherine says, this seems relaxed, not a lot of hustle and bustle. No, not as much hustle and bustle as a London or Paris or a New York. This is a little bit of a less of hustle and bustle city. Let me know if you want me to show you anything as we're waiting here. Oh, here's the tram. I'm going to zoom in on the tram. LSC says, I used to live in Miami, now live in New York City. Honestly, every other U.S. would wish that that they had the public transportation that New York City has. Yeah, I mean, as a New Yorker, yes, I recognize. I am very grateful, and I think most New Yorkers should be very grateful of our public transportation. Our public transportation is still some of the best in the world. I mean, it's bigger than Rome's public transportation system. Like, the subway system is very convenient. But for such a big city, why limit ourselves? Why stop there? Why? Why not continue looking forward, paving new tracks to a bright new future? Girl Nicole says, before my surgery this month, I'm going to stash a note that reminds the doctor of her car warranty. We're referring to Girl Nicole. Bus service is horrible in New York City. Oh, yes, it is. And nothing beats Tokyo. I can't wait to experience it. I can't wait to experience Amsterdam as well. Zara Amsterdam is amazing. And Wendy says, Gary says, trams, don't mention new trams in Edinburgh. We spend about £300 million on a 12-mile track to the airport in the middle of the city. Wow, Gary. That's expensive. I'm glad they're at least trying to build some trams. That's nice. Paul says in New York City, trams and monorails above ground turn the subway into a waste removal system. En Victoria dice, estás arriba en el bus. Mejor para mirar el paisaje. Espero que no haya muchos hoyos como las carreteras de Puerto Rico. Victoria says, I hope there's not that many potholes like there are in Puerto Rico, and you're in a good view. Sí, yo creo las calles aquí, las carreteras aquí son mucho más mejores. Son más similares como una ciudad como Londres. So, sí, son bastante seguras. Yes, the roads here are very safe, and they're a lot more even than Athens or Puerto Rico. Wendy says, don't fall asleep on the bus. Oh, I won't. How can I rewind what you've streamed so far? Gary, I'm not sure if it's possible on Facebook, but if you watch on YouTube, you can watch, you can stream before, but you can also watch the replay after this. After this video is done, you can watch the entire video any way you wish. Kathy says, I can't wait to experience Puerto Rico with you. I went once and really liked it, says Kathy. Ooh, cool. right, now we're all set. We're gonna go. LAC says, what's your opinion in congestion pricing in New York City? Oh, that's a very tricky topic. It works in London, so I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know. Mentality of charging more might not be the best option. There might be other better options. B. Griffin says, is PR still in the works? So the goal is we will reach 75 patrons on Patreon. If we reach 75 YouTube members, then we will be going to a tropical city. And that tropical city might very well be a place that I'm from, or might be somewhere else. It might be a place where a few awesome super urbanists are from. Maybe somewhere else as well entirely. But if we hit 75 now on YT, we're halfway there. We got well, not halfway, we're only about 15 people away. I will be covering the tropical city. Stay tuned. Udo, can you listen to the audio explain what to see? I'd rather not hook up into the audio because it's copyrighted. So I'll tell you what to see. Also, hop on Facebook because we have Matt, who's providing excellent extra context via the comments, which you can read as well. So everyone give hearts to Matt. He's tuning in on Facebook, and he's been leaving some awesome commentary during the live video along with mine, having a lot more context and written down. And Gary says, we love you. Thank you so much for tuning into this live video. We love you. We're in the square you are in right now. We took our 8-year-old son to see the sights and meet relatives 3 years ago. We wish we were there with you, but we're in spirit. Oh, Gary, that's so cool that you visited here and you took your son for a ride. That's awesome. All right, we are on Italian time because he told me 25 minutes about 40 minutes ago. But Roland says, a tropical city? Do you mean sunny Vancouver? Hey, Donald, nice to see you here. That building with the tall golden statue. Ooh, I don't know. Victoria, ¿cómo vamos? Well, él me dijo que íbamos en 25 minutos hace 40 minutos atrás. So, estamos en tiempo italiano. Tiempo italiano es que ellos dicen 1 hora y se tardan como 20 minutos más. The bus driver fell asleep. I mean, we got the engine started. We're not going. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know, Hasrati. It's a great question. Yeah, that might be a church. Yeah, I think that's a church. Yeah. Kay says that's why the tour is not popular. The bus doesn't move. We'll see. We'll see if this bus moves. EA says we're in Italian time. You gotta sit back and relax. Yeah, you do. You do. It's very common in many Southern European countries. We're not in Germany. You know, I one time flew on Lufthansa Airlines, and on Lufthansa Airlines, I remember we were arriving to New York, and the pilot, not the flight attendant, but the pilot, went on the microphone, and he was saying, "I'm deeply, deeply sorry, everyone. We're going to be 7 minutes late." And I was shocked because I thought, like, oh my God, he's sorry. What is he sorry about? What's happening? And it was just because we're 7 minutes late. So that's how punctual the Germans are, at least. But not so much in Southern Europe. Don't mind me, I'm making a live video. Yeah. Hey, Donald says in Japan you can usually set your watch by when the trains and buses leave on the schedule. Oh, interesting. Luna, do I have an idea where we'll pass? We'll pass by all the major sites. So we're gonna, this is a tourist bus, so we're gonna pass by all the major sites. There is a bus that is more Christian oriented or Catholic oriented, which is the Vatican bus tours, but this one is not one of them. This is not the Vatican one. So all the bus tours really go on the same route, except for the Vatican.
We are leaving now for the last complete tour of the day. The whole ride will be about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Benvenuti a bordo, stiamo partendo per l'ultimo giro completo della giornata che durerà all'incirca 1 ora e 20.
Says they're probably waiting for more people to bus. Yeah, because this is the last bus. Yeah. And now we are off. Mikel asked if the bus drivers are Federica. No. April says punctuality is not a priority for Italians. No. Though it's more punctual than Greece. I think it's a spectrum. Lorraine says, woohoo, here we go. Yeah, we do. Here we're going. Yeah. Chris says, how are you able to afford all these trips? Well, Chris, I'm a professional tourist. This is what I do. Ronald says at least the pilot, the driver, is not Harrison Ford. Catherine says this tour was so well planned right to the end. Which tour are you referring to, Catherine? Are you referring to this one? We're starting right now, basically. Wendy says, I get travel sickness on bus, so thanks for this area. Well, at least you can experience none of the car sickness from bus. Curtis, do I travel to African countries? Not in the moment. They are not so conducive to live video. There's certain areas of the world that still don't have good internet service. And also, it's not so easy to kind of just walk around in the city. So, this show is mostly about cities. That's why I don't really cover very exotic places as some other vloggers do. Because I want to show you an experience of walking around all in live video.
Stop number 2 San Mary Major, fermata numero 2 Santa Maria Maggiore, parada numero 2 Santa Maria la Mayor.
Here's Santa Maria Maggiore. And this church is very important because it dates back to the early 1000s, or about, I think it might be 1100. And one of the founding reasons that they built this church here was because there was a huge freak incident where it only snowed right here. It snowed only right here in this very spot. And thus they built the church exactly in this spot. Sil says, being a professional tourist, I started. Will there be a certification program moving forward? Rosemary, am I in Spain? No, this is Rome, Italy. Rome, Italy. LAC says, how did it feel in Mexico City? So Mexico City felt safe during the daytime, but Rome is different because Rome I feel safe in the daytime and also in the nighttime. Not so much in Mexico City. Couldn't really stream at night. Rosemary says, what's my next stop in the EU? Who knows? Will it be EU? Will it be Europe? Will it be Staten Island? Stay tuned. Edward, what are the COVID rules for Italy? The only thing I encountered going from Greece to here, because I came from Greece, I did not come from the US directly, only I had to fill out a passenger locator form. That's it. Filled out that passenger locator form, they checked it, they didn't check anything else. They didn't even check the vaccine, they didn't check a test, nothing. But do check your own local regulations. And things are changing day by day, so sometimes you have to check. Be sure to check the day before you travel if you already set plans. Sunshine says this is a nice bus tour. I'm so glad you're enjoying it, Sunshine. Joe says, wow, on the bus we got a different perspective. Yeah, this is why I wanted to show it to you. B. Griffin says, this is the first time I get a sense of the seven hills of Rome. Oh, I'm so glad. Hey, Jessica. Hey, SJ. Welcome. Kay says, UK is now open to US visitors. Is it really? I don't know. I don't believe the UK. They're flip-flopping a lot. Kathy says, I feel like you are a star riding on top of a bus. Oh. That's awesome, Kathy. So if you haven't already slammed that like button, and let me know if you're on Team Like. So Sil says, comparing this bus to Mexico City, the buildings feel more European here. Yeah, well, of course. Mexico City, while it has a very European style, it's still removed 500 years from Europe. So it has developed its own style. And here we are, the Coliseum, built by Vespasian, 79 AD. And right down there we have the Temple of Hadrian. Well, the temple built by Hadrian. It's the Temple of Venus in Rome, right, in the Roman Forum. Alessandra says, what you do is a lucrative profession that will end up becoming a big boom amongst millennials. Yeah, I have no doubt that there's going to be more of what I do, more people of what I do out there. Sandy says, oh, thank you. LAC says Federica used to say that the Coliseum was constructed, the other buildings were used parts from the Colosseum. Yeah, they did. That's why half of the Colosseum is missing. April says, wow, hardly any people than pre-COVID. Yeah, pre-COVID really, with the pandemic, this is all much emptier. It used to be very, very full. And the Colosseum was built when Pompeii was destroyed, says Alessandra? Yes, it was. So it finished construction just shortly after that. So yes, it was starting to be constructed during the era of Pompeii. Yeah. And Kathy, you say it's beautiful. Indeed it is. And this is the icing of the cake bus tour, says Catherine. Oh, yeah. I still have about a week left in Rome. So you're going to see more of Rome. Impossible to grow tired of seeing the Colosseum. It's majestic. I agree. 4 stories big. Look how huge this thing is. And there used to be gigantic awnings. And we see the ballards right down there. Let me zoom in. So those ballards used to hold the ropes that would go all the way up and hold the awnings that would provide shade to all the spectators watching 3 special series per day, which would be first animal hunts. During lunch, it would be executions. And for dinner, it will be gladiatorial battles where people fought to the death and slaughtered each other in glorious and very explicit ways. Where to now? It's Where to Now. Where to Now is sponsoring this bus tour, or joining and sponsoring this bus tour. Thank you so much for joining to sponsor this bus tour. Where to Now? Mirna says, audience for hangings? Yes. Hangings, burnings, people being fed to lions, everything. So here is why half of the Colosseum is missing. So Colosseum was used for quarry to build their own kind of churches and other types of buildings. And there's something being filmed down here. $100 for every $1. So this is the ruins of the... Is this the Domus area? No, this is the Valentine Hill. So here is where all the emperors built their gigantic palaces. And here are the walls.
Coliseum, fermata numero 3, Colosseum.
So remember when I said I was going to go to a place with running water? There was going to be food. Well, I showed you the running water, which are the beautiful fountains made by Bernini, and all those wonderful fountains where you can refill your water bottle with cold water from the Apennine Mountains. I've shown you the food, the pasta carbonara, the cacio e pepe, the beautiful bread that we ate yesterday, the focaccia. But I also mentioned there was walls. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here they are. The walls of Rome. Told you I was going to promise you walls. We're going to see more of them on this bus tour. Hey, Blue Sea says it's so magical driving around Rome. To the left. How did they get lions to Italy? I don't know, but they did. So here is what we visited yesterday by walking. This is the Circus Maximus. There's been a circus here, according to legend, since 600 BC. But this one built around 100 something AD, had a capacity of 250,000 people. Yep, 250,000 people. And in the distance we see the dome of St. Peter's Basilica. Coliseum is a ticket entrance, as many of the ruins. Circus Maximus is free. They don't charge anymore. They used to, but no longer. Right there we see the ruins of the Valentine Hill. Tonya, is there a black neighborhood in Rome? There are neighborhoods with a few more Africans. I'm not sure exactly what country they're coming from.
Maximus, fermata numero 4, Circo Massimo.
Wasn't the Circus Maximus built on Campus Marius? Me Griffin, I don't know. Oh, good question. I don't think so. I think Circus Maximus, I think Campus Marius is somewhere, but do let us know. Maria says, I think you said structures. I did promise structures as well, so I did say walls and structures, yeah. Johnny, I don't know. Johnny says UK is open to fully vaccinated Americans from Monday. I don't know. I don't believe Boris. They've been flip-flopping a lot. I'm not sure if they'll say on Tuesday, oh no, oh sorry, we decided not to. We're closed again. Catherine says, looks so expensive from the bus tour view. Yeah, that's a cool thing. So there is like a theater or some type of show performance that happens here. The De la Opera de Roma, so it's opera. They have opera here now. LC says, ancient Rome had better sewer system than most modern cities. Yes. B. Griffin says, the Campus Marius was just outside the city walls and that's where the soldiers trained. Circus Maximus fits that bill. Yeah, do let us know. Where's the Campus Marius, if anyone can confirm. Hyde says, I heard EVP before from your unconscious carbonara. You heard EVP. Yeah, Hyde. Hyde is always esoteric and spiritual knowledge, and EVP of my unconscious saying carbonara. Am I actually thinking about carbonara? Stuart says, we would love to have you in the UK area, but yeah, you're right. We don't know where we're actually going.
Stop number 5, Veneto Square, fermata numero 5, Piazza Venezia, parata numero 5, Piazza Venezia.
April says, I always hear Andrea Bocelli in my head when I see this part of Rome. Ooh, interesting. He is a great, great artist. LAC says, will you trade Rome for NYC, or is it too laid back for you? Oh, that's a great question, LAC. You know what? I really do like the big city energy for living. For traveling, and maybe for traveling for extended amounts of periods, it could be for a few months. Yeah, I really love this type of Rome atmosphere, or Greece, or Puerto Rico. I do love that type of atmosphere, but I would say for living, if I were to live in a place for years, I like big cities. So Rome, while it does feel a little bit like a big city, I still want a little bit even more kind of vibrancy for living. So I would not live in Rome. I would envision myself, at least now, of course life always changes and tastes always change, but right now I will only live in a New York or London or Paris. I can see myself living. I'm not sure, I haven't been to Tokyo, maybe a Tokyo, but I can definitely see myself in London or in Paris for a living. Here you can see the lasagna of history, according to Federica, and this is Capitoline Hill. So we're passing through Capitoline Hill. Yeah, Capitoline Hill. Here, right in the center is a huge statue of Marcus Aurelius on horseback. And Capitoline Hill is the progenitor of the name for our great center of government in the U.S., Capitol Hill. Derives its name from Rome, and it's because Washington, D.C. was built also along 7 hills. And the entire makeup was very similar to Rome. Even the river that passes, similar to the Tiber. Susie says, Edinburgh would suit you well. Ooh. Clement says, please come to Berlin. I heard many great things about Berlin. Can't wait to go. Here is the wedding cake of Rome. Romans apparently don't like this building. Some of them don't, I heard. And it's because they think it's very ostentatious. It's the huge building of King Emanuele Vittorio II, the man who unified Italy. Over there we see Trajan's column. Used to be a gigantic hill, 125 feet tall right there, but the ancient Romans carved it out during the era of Trajan. Apollodorus was the architect of that time, and then Apollodorus disagreed with Hadrian, and Hadrian had him killed. Susie says, I like that building. Yeah, let me know. Do you like the Vittorio Emanuele II National Monument? Let us know. Right here we got the Via del Corso, leads all the way to Piazza del Popolo. Right, this one right here. Seal says, thank you for taking us on your bus journey. My pleasure. Hyde says, Edinburgh has been named as one of Europe's most exciting cities. That's awesome, Hyde. Still, do they have a equivalent to Fifth Avenue? Great question, still. They kind of used to, but I'm not sure if it's still active. It was the Via Veneto. Let me know. I haven't been to Via Veneto yet. I went in 2019. It was so empty, so I'm not sure if it really is a thing anymore. But the Via Veneto was featured in films like La Dolce Vita, and that was kind of the fancy area of Rome where everyone hung out. Fifth Avenue is more shopping, of course, but yeah, I'm not sure if there's a Fifth Avenue equivalent. I would say Via del Corso is, I think, the closest thing you can get because there's a few high-end shops there. Ludo, this is an hour and 20-minute bus ride, so we got about maybe 40 minutes left. So right behind there is Piazza Navona. Hey, Dolores says, hey, Ariel, love you. Oh, thank you so much, Dolores. Likewise. TA says, I'm so glad I can catch your live stream. You're on an open bus tour. Yes, I am. Sandy says, I'm at work and touring Rome at the same time. That's the beauty of live video. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Is this a hop-on, hop-off tour? Yes. We're on the last ride, so not many people are hopping on or hopping off, but yes, during the day it's a hop-on, hop-off. But you can pay 15 euro for just one ride. Online, you'll probably save even 2 or 3 euro more, so it might be cheaper online. Christine, thank you so much for the stars. I appreciate it. But overall, how's this ride compared to the car tour in Greece? In Greece, I really did not take a tour. I did not take one of the bus tours in Athens, so I can't compare. Christine, thank you so much for the 200 stars. Jen says, seems traveling in history is your passion. No, Jen, I hate it. Terrible. I'm doing this just for the big bank. Just the bank. That's all. The only reason I'm doing it, Jen. If it weren't for the bank, I would just be standing out and eating pizza. I appreciate that, Jen. Yes, it is indeed. It is indeed my passion. Really love history, really love architecture, and traveling.
Stop number 6. Castello Sant'Angelo, fermata numero 6, Castello Sant'Angelo.
LAC says, Ariel, you give off Anthony Bourdain vibes. Oh, that's a high compliment. Thank you so much, LAC. The New York Post says, it's Ariel making bank. Yes. Christy says, we know you're making so much bank. And the Australian press reposted the New York Post article and said, I'm making lots of matzah, which I think is lots of bank, but in Aussie. B. Griffin says she sounds a bit Greek. Yeah, the accents could be something similar. I think maybe Southern Italians have a little bit more of a similar way of similar accent to Greek. Hola nómades. Espero que todo está bien. No hay mesitas para jugar dominos, dice Victoria. Victoria says there's no little tables to play dominoes. So Victoria is mentioning Puerto Rico where people play dominoes on side streets. No, aquí no hay mesita de jugar dominos. No está, eso no es la parte de cultura italiana. Yo creo que en los barrios más pequeños, en los sitios más afuera de las ciudades, puede ser que hay más personas jugando o hangueando afuera. It could be in the smaller areas and small towns there are people more hanging out outside. Ludo US, is there a limit to amount of videos you can upload to YouTube? No, I don't think so. Roland says, how many people do you employ to count all your money? Oh, Roland, the entire team. Hey, TA asks, would you recommend visiting Athens over Rome as a tourist destination if I can only visit one? I've been to Rome, but I haven't seen Athens. If you haven't seen Athens, I would recommend going to Athens. If you've been to Rome, Rome is amazing. I'm enjoying it my third time over here, but I would say go to Athens. Athens is magical in its own way. Which city has more graffiti? Athens, New York, or Rome? Athens, by far. New York would be number 2, and then after that would be Rome. Catherine says, your lifestyle is very envious. Can tell you love life. Indeed. Heather says, would you recommend taking the bus tour over trying to see the sights on your own? No, see the sights on your own. Bus tour, I would use it more as your first day primer on getting to know the layout of the city. So, if you're here on very tight of time, actually it doesn't matter whether you're here like 3 or 4, like 2 weeks, or you're here for a few days. The going on the bus could be very good because you get to see a layout of the city which you won't be able to experience on public transportation or walking. So I would recommend a bus tour for that. Nicola, are there any places to avoid in Rome? I have not really been outside the tourist area. The tourist area in Rome is gigantic. It's big. It's like visiting most of Manhattan. It's that big. So I have not been to the outskirts of the city, so I have not encountered maybe places that might be a little bit more wary of walking at night. But here, in the entire historic center, Monte, Capitoline Hill, Bacrati, time through, day and night. So I have not found places where I would feel like I need to avoid. Face says, how about Villa Borghese? Villa Borghese does not really have good service, so I've been tempted to maybe try it out again, but I don't think I'll be able to make a video there. Though I managed to do one with very spotty service last 2019. So this is another building that a lot of Romans tend not to like because they think it's too ostentatious. It is the Court of Justice, the highest court, I think, if I recall correctly, the highest court in all of Italy. So this is like basically their Supreme Court. LAC. Yeah, this is not 360, so you can't really watch on VR this particular video, but I do offer 360 videos, so yeah, there's plenty of VR content you can consume. Right now they're exclusive to Urbanist for the first like month or two. Gary says if you had a chance to get the Enzo's in Festivity, we saw in the travel show, I met Enzo. He squeezed us in for the fiesta, and it was amazing. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, a few people have recommended to me the Enzo's. Hey, Panajotis, said you and Susan said hello on Twitch. I'm so Alright everyone, be sure to slam that like button right now and let me know if you're on Team Like. And if you're on FB, share this video with all any Facebook groups that are relevant to Rome, Italy, travel. That way we can get more people to tune in so I can make more awesome explorations around wonderful cities across the world in which you can watch it from the comfort of your own phone, couch, work desk, or anywhere that you like to see it. Hey Ludo, thank you so much for the €10 super chat. Ludo says, just thinking, what we get for Ariel is priceless. Money should not be an issue or a discussion. Entertaining us is his job, and the job pays for the sandwiches. Indeed, Ludo, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, thank you so much, Ludo. I really appreciate the kind words. Yes. Some people like to say that, oh, you know, you're traveling and, you know, who are you to use people's, what people pay you to travel around the world? You take advantage of people. Well, it's not quite like that. It's entertainment. I'm entertaining. Mikal says, €5 super chat, says, I agree. Thank you so much for calling. Are these buildings old or are they meant to look old? No, a lot of these buildings that we're looking at right now were starting to be built around the 1870s. That's when the neighborhood of Prati, which we're in right now, which is the neighborhood right next to Vatican City, was starting to be developed. Before then, there were vineyards, so they weren't really in use. Here's the best gelato in Rome, which we visited on that 6-hour tour that we did. And the jazz club is right down there. And tonight they have more jazz. Najotis, you are also a moderator on YouTube. Hi, it says Federica is filming mostly in portrait. It's because she's mostly doing TikToks and like quick videos for Instagram. That's why. Thoughts about the urban layout of the city, says Inspire Life. Oh, great question. I love the urban layout of Rome. It predates the car. So while they did kind of adjust a lot for the cars in certain areas, other areas still have that charm of pre-car walkability. And they've done a good job in connecting the public transportation together, and also a great job with sidewalks. So there is a sense of separation, even if you're walking through these busier avenues like we are right now. There's still a separation between you and the traffic, which really wasn't a thing in Athens and a few other cities. It's not so good. Mexico City was another one that was felt a little bit more precautious, but here it feels good. So I really like the urban planning here. But this is urban planning from ancient Roman times. And the neighborhood of Prati is more new, built in the 1870s, so it has a more Parisian style of planning or New York style of planning, and it's very good. I really like that type of planning as well. Because while they're wide open streets, they're slightly pre-car, so in consideration for city planning around the 1920s in mass. So these neighborhoods that were built in the mid-1800s, like Paris, like New York, like Boston, and like neighborhoods like Prati and certain other neighborhoods in the outskirts of Rome and parts of Athens, they still feel really fun. They feel more modern, but they still feel very good to walk around. Tonya says the walking YouTubers are providing very altruistic service. Thank you for all your priceless content. Your price. Thank you, Ariel. Your priceless, says Tonya. Oh, thank you, Tonya. Ooh, here's Piazza Popolo and the double Santa Marias. I think we're gonna pass by Villa Borghese maybe. Wendy says can't get over the receipt yesterday of $55. Yeah, it was expensive. More of a fine dining experience, even though I was outdoors in the Italy way. to the left. You don't fully know. Here's a subway stop. Tammy says, Ariel, you're valued and much needed. Thank you for all your hard work. Oh, thank you, everyone. Making me feel seen. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. A wall. Oh, this is a beautiful. Oh, this is Villa Borghese. So we're in the Villa Borghese area. So we're just steps away from the beautiful villa that has all the works of Robert says, can you take us where they hung Mussolini? Where was that? I don't know.
Stop
If anyone
number
can let us
7,
know.
Via Ludovisi, from here can reach Via Veneto, Spanish Steps, fermata numero 7, Via Ludovisi, da qui potete raggiungere Piazza di Spagna, Via Veneto.
So we're close to Via Veneto, which is kind of the fancy, you can think of it like the Soho of Rome. And that was the main avenue featured in the film La Dolce Vita, where everyone's partying and the main character kind of goes from bar to bar, meets up with his dad, he meets up with I think Anita's Ekbert's character. I'm feeling hungry. Wow, look at that. Oh my God. Beautiful building. You know, Rome truly is one of the more beautiful cities of the world. Of course, there's immense beauty in Paris, but since Rome, that type of kind of rectangular urban design, you feel surprised as you're walking around, more so than you even do in a city like Paris or New York. B. Griffin, Mussolini was hung at Piazza Loreto in Milano. Oh, Milano. Okay, thank you. Maybe? Who knows? April says, Italy can do it. Make you hungry all the time. Oh yeah, I can. Melody sent 50 stars. Thank you so much, Melody. Ooh, we're right by the Capuchin monks. So right here, close. Let me point it out. Let's see if we pass it. No, we're not passing it, but right around here in this neighborhood, there is oh, right here. Okay, right here is where the crypts of the Capuchin monks are. Inside these crypts are completely decorated with hundreds of skulls, real skulls and bones from deceased Capuchin monks. The entire rooms are covered with them. I wish I could show it to you, but they don't allow filming, and I want to respect their wishes, of course. Is there a tour guide on the bus? No, but there's an audio tour right here. Have you seen Calatrava's uncompleted Olympic Dome? No, where is that?
From here you can reach the Trevi Fountain da cui raggiungete la fontana di Trevi.
Hey, Richard from Greenpoint, nice to see you here. So here's another subway stop. This is the Barberini stop. Inspire Life, where's Calatrava's uncompleted Olympic Dome? Wendy says I would make a great gladiator. I wouldn't want to be a gladiator. Rome have a Chinatown, says Yvonne. Not really. There's one street where there's a lot of like Chinese businesses where they say bootleg clothes. Literally. I wouldn't really call that Chinatown, but yeah, there's one area where you'll see more Chinese than others. It's close to where we started the tour in Termini. Otherwise, there's basically a Chinese town, a huge, not a huge city, but like a big town that's almost all Chinese. I think it's called Padua, and it's filled with Chinese. And it's because Chinese have been buying a lot of property there. And I think historically there were Chinese there for about 100 years, but in recent times they've been coming there in droves. If anyone can confirm what's the name of the town in Italy with a lot of Chinese. Have you seen Indian restaurants? No, Robert, almost no Indian restaurants, though there are Bangladeshi and Pakistanis here. I have not seen that many restaurants of any of that sort. Maybe in more of their areas. I would say maybe close to Termini, which is the area where we started that bus tour. Hey, Kay says Ariel send super chat. Hey, Ariel. My dad's watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sent 500 stars. Thank you so much, Ariel, for the 500 stars. $5 super chat. Appreciate that. Maru says Chinatown's Milan. I assume, yeah. I don't doubt it. A lot of Chinese are moved to Milan. Benvenuti. So here we have the Baths of Diocletian. Part of the Baths of Diocletian were converted into a basilica, which we see a lot of people gathered outside. The Baths of Diocletian were the biggest baths ever built by the ancient Romans, but it's not as well kept, or there's not as much surviving as Bath of Caracalla. I did go there last year though, so check out that older video on Facebook if you want to check it out, or on the YT channel called Urbanist Bonus. There I posted the old replays of Rome 2019. And we are ending. That was an awesome tour. I enjoyed that. Let me know if you did. I love these bus tours. A great way to get a sense of the city. As you can see, we kind of already got a sense of everywhere you would go in the city, generally as a tourist. And you get a sense of the geography, how far things are.
Stop, fermata stazione Termini.
Sounds like a rickety bus. Yes, it
This is
is.
the end of the service for today. Thank you for touring with us. Questa è la fine del servizio, vi ringraziamo tanto per aver viaggiato con noi.
So this was Rome Open Bus. €15 to go on one trip. Might be a little bit cheaper online. Usually with these bus tours, they do offer better prices online. So do check them out. I enjoyed them. Very easy process. You know, the bus tours are all going the same route, so you're not really going to encounter too many things different. You can go to the Vatican bus tours, where they have a little bit more centered around Christianity, and they go to a few stops where the other bus tours don't. And this is Rome Termini. I like usually showing you train stations, but here in Italy, they're very sensitive with filming in train stations. I think they have laws against it. So I'll show it to you from here outside. Catherine says, it was a perfect tour. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And right here is the tram. Take the tram to a lot of places. Rome could be a very interesting place to visit, like for extended period of time, and kind of go out to the outskirts of Rome would be very interesting. Let me know if anyone has recommendations of places really far out in Rome to check out. Maria, am I taking the train now? I am indeed taking the train. I am famished. I worked up a big appetite. So I think Hyde, who's a wonderful urbanist, watches on YT. He's a shaman, and he said that my unconscious was emitting subtle voice signals saying that I want carbonara. I'm sending signals out there in the ether. I really appreciate Hyde's shamanic knowledge. So maybe my unconscious is right. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. I will be taking the subway now, the metro, and I'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. There's going to be a really fun show. I'm going to feature an authentic Italian. It's going to be our second collaboration with another Italian. Tomorrow it's Michele Ponte. Check him out if you want to know about him before the tour. Michele Ponte, basically Michael with an extra E, Michael Ponte. And you can see his YouTube. He travels all around the world. He has a lot of live streams as well here in Rome and other parts in Italy too. And we're going to do a live stream first at 6 p.m. on my channel, and then right after we're going to do a live stream on his channel. It's going to be more food oriented. So stay tuned tomorrow, double live stream back to back, me and Michele Ponte. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a great day, everyone. And also bonus 360 videos and VR videos coming for supporters. So thank you so much for becoming a supporter. Press that become a supporter button or press that join button on YT, or go to patreon.com/urbanist if you want to lend your support to the show and get access to cool VR videos where you can look in every single direction that you would like. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Arrivederci amici. Buonanotte.